local businessman, advocate for mental health, and an all-around great guy. Cheers to the pod. Hope it was a good one. The best one. Cheers.
We're on the ones there. John McGill.
A lot of people, like some people's came, some people's gone, some people's doing their own thing, etc., etc. But this spawned from you taking a leap of faith. You believing in nothing other than yourself, and like you said, you had a burning desire. You sat every day and night and thought, this needs to work. How will I make this fucking work? And there's people out there who will never, ever, ever, ever take that leap.
So it was me, and I had my kids, they said, I have a ball, my
Oh,
family.
100%.
But he went in on a Saturday afternoon, that was him, like, didn't see him again till the next day.
Oh, but that was fucked as well, because that was
me.
specifically Northern Ireland that footed that bill, and it's 5 million.
That was disgusting. Like.
So we've got $250 million for King Charles III, and then we've got $5 billion for Biden. Where's the help in the street? See the potholes at the back of the streets here where we are now? I had to put in a complaint about this because someone needs to come out and fix them. Yeah. So our roads are fucked. Most people are underpaid.
Fucked, our health services fucked.
Can't get to the GPs.
Can't get nothing. So I mean, can't get.
Most streets are run down.
People run about now trying to find a dentist because dentists aren't.
No one will take you on. Okay, guys, and welcome to episode 3 of We're Not There Yet podcast with Mr. Harry Preshur. Harry owns 2 barbershops in the Carrickfergus Green Island area, local businessman, advocate for mental health, and an all-around great guy.
And the Chippy.
And he has a Chippy, yes, he has a Chippy. Chippy is run by his beautiful soon-to-be wife. And we're going to get straight in here with a bit of the backstory on how you got started getting into barbering. Like, where did this passion come from? Where did it sprout from? Because I can kind of remember seeing you in NRC Tech, like, how many years ago was that? Must be like nearly
10 years this year.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Year,
and that there's whenever you were trying to get your act together, really, if I remember correctly.
Shouted out a couple of guys, but they haven't got back to me, so I'm going to actually have to land into their barbershops and see if they want to do something in September. Like a bit of a meetup. Because out of everybody who was there on level 2, there's me and Barry still in contact. As far as I know, Danny and Adam are working together now, and Stephen's in the man check.
Brilliant.
So we are. So everybody sort of not fell out, just sort of went their separate ways, so they did, but sort of kept in touch in wee ways. So it'd be nice to get everybody back together and fucking meet up and just go for a coffee or go for a bit of lunch. Right,
well, before you answer the question, how you actually got interested, let's crack these. Cheers to the pod. Hope it's a good one. Hope it's the best one. Cheers.
We're on the monster. John McGill.
Okay.
Not down to that bad boy.
I actually was meant to... By the way, everyone, this podcast has ran over. We're meant to start at 7 o'clock. It's now 10 past 8. I was meant to have Think and Grow Rich in between us because it was a big book for both of us. We'll get into that. But yeah, how did you get interested in becoming a barber, and what was kind of your first steps? Because you were late into this industry.
It was.
So
I was 33 when I started.
So you're 33. So tell people your story.
So how I got into the whole thing, let's go back to 4th year when I was in school. This girl came into our class 4th year. Girl from Port Stewart. With our class dead on it. And she came in one day with this haircut. Man, it came from about just below her ear on one side and rolled right down her shoulder on the other side. And I thought, that is absolutely fucking class. And that got me interested in women's hair. I was thinking, right, fuck, happy days. But in the mid-90s, not too many men did women's hair. So I mean, yeah, I got tortured. I actually went to attack this sign up for hairdressing. And the girl says to me, he says, you're guaranteed to go on this course. You're the only fella that's applied for this in 3 years. No sweat. The sheet was coming around. Just had to write what you wanted beside your name. 3 boys walked in that I knew, and I thought, there's no way I'm putting down hairdressing here and I'll get tortured. So I put down joinery. I never went back. But I ended up going to Feldon and doing joinery. Left it after 3 months. Went to bricklaying. 2 days to go in NVQ level 2. If they head up, walked out. Do you know what I mean? Fucking dick. But anyway, fast forward. I was working KDM. We were talking about the 2008 recession earlier on. When it kicked in, we get paid off 2011, I think it was. We get paid off. And with 3 sons and a daughter, I thought, what happened was I took the boys to the barbershop. I had to pay for all the haircuts and thought, fuck this, boy, this is a bit dear. And I thought, with 3 sons and a daughter, I wouldn't mind learning how to cut men's hair. That was the whole thing, just to learn how to cut men's hair. And 2013, I rolled into tech, and the rest is history.
Brilliant.
Just went for it.
So were you kind of the oldest in your class at that
I
time?
was the oldest in my
so you
class.
were the
I
oldest
was
in your
the
class?
oldest. I
Were you
was.
dealing with kind of people around early 20s?
Late teens,
Late
early 20s.
teens, early 20s?
Late teens, early 20s.
Well, it just goes to show you that, because there's a lot of people who, once the land in their field, for example, you said you were in K&N there, is that factory work?
Warehousing, yeah.
Yeah, so like factory, warehousing type work. A lot of people will stay in that field and think, right, well, this is where my opportunities are, and that's that. Whereas you go, you know what, these opportunities aren't there, they're not for me. I need something new, something fresh.
For us, it's sort of different on that. I get where you're going with that, but it was different because we could pay it off.
Yeah.
Everybody lost factory, the warehouse closed, and everybody lost their jobs. So then left there, went to a place called Met Steel. Just a factory, coiling steel all day. Took a mental breakdown, and after everything that had happened to me in 2005, June 2005, finally caught up with me, and I just fucking head went. I was ready for high jump, and then got all the help I needed, and then there was an opportunity for me, and I went, fuck it, let's do it. Let's go for it.
But it's motivational to people who, like, for example, and I don't want to single anyone out who might know me from my time in a factory called Trader Electronics in Carrickfergus, but whenever I went in there I was 18 when I joined there, late 18, coming into 19, and I was there for about a year and a half, and I looked around me as an 18, 19-year-old. Everyone around me was 35 to 50, all on the same wage as an 18-year-old who just left school, and no one had any ambition other than coming in, getting their wages and going home. And I thought, for the love of God, no matter what I do in this life, I don't want to be looking at an 18-year-old and be like, he gets the same amount of money as me, and I have nothing to do, no dreams, no aspirations, no nothing.
So you're saying that, right? So I know boys that were in Trader, same age as me, so they'd have been there when you were there, and when they get paid off, some of them got good payoffs. But you're talking about money. Every job, every full-time job I ever had from I was 16, hold on, 17 was my first full-time job in FC Wilson's, right up until K&N, or I was a supervisor in K&N, or a team leader, which was, or that was extra money. But the whole way through that, every full-time job I had paid the fucking same wage. At the times, they were good money, but overall, it was the same. 250 quid a week, 250 quid a week, 250 quid a week, 250 quid a week, the whole way through it. So I mean, that's all I ever worked for.
My main problem with that was you were in a field where basically they want to automate. So, for example, in Trader, we were put on what you call a factory line. I'm just saying because people listening to me.
I've worked factories before.
Yeah, you know the crack. So when we were on the factory line, I would be like, we didn't gain any skills really. There were certain people who were machine operators who would know how to fix the line, but to take that to somewhere else, like that skill wasn't really transferable because it was just on that line that they could fix. And just whenever I was 18, 19, okay, they did have an apprenticeship program, but most people were stuck in the machine, stuck in the churn of the machine. Night shift, day shift, night shift, day shift, night shift, day shift. And for me, it was, I can't do this. I can't be happy knowing that my value to society is the same as someone who has zero skills. Because I came out of school with zero skills. I have 4 GCSEs. You know what I mean? 4.
I've done.
Well, there you go. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
The only thing I got I got high marks on was fucking attendance first to third year. After that, it all went to shit.
Yeah.
So I did. I had that. School was awful.
And that is a lot of factory warehousing is where people go whenever they haven't knuckled down academically. And I don't want to, like, I met some great people, some really great people.
I met some people in there.
I don't want people to think I'm shitting on them here.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that in that field, they want to basically put you out of the job. See, in any factory, if they could have it for cheaper and it automated without a human there, they will get it.
What I learned in K&N of a couple of guys from Rathcoole is you're only a number.
But you are.
That's it. You're only a number.
Look, we're businessmen now.
So what I've learned. Sorry to interrupt you. What I've learned is there's nothing wrong with that work. Right? Some people I know people who say, "Oh, I couldn't go back to that sort of work. I couldn't go back to that sort of work." Because I know what it is and I know how easy it is. It's easy money.
Yeah.
But if you're in that and you're happy with that, you want to claim the ladder. You want to claim the corporate ladder. There's a name for it. So if you're the business owner, you're the CEO. But there's another one if you're the guy that wants to claim the ladder. I can't remember. I was listening to a podcast the other day. They were talking about it. like the intern CEO or something like that there. Do you know what I mean? For people, if you're in that and you want to be in that, you want to be the top boy in there. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to just stay in there and just go in, do you have to do, get your wage and get out. So some people are happy about it there, isn't it? It's the easy life.
But that's it.
It's the easiest option.
So like I'm coming at this as a perspective of someone who's always wanted to attain their own thing. Now, obviously, I have that now. You have that now. So we're coming from that perspective and been there, done that. We both have factory jobs. You obviously had them since 17. I had them for a couple of years between 18 and 19.
I the only time I've ever been unemployed, except for my breakdown, is because I wanted to be unemployed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't go looking for jobs. So when I left school, I went to Feldon. I left Feldon. I got a labouring job on a building site, 25 quid a day. I thought I was the dog's balls. I thought I was the fucking bee's knees. Going to work with my work boots on, my mammy and me, my piece on, fucking high vis jacket. The way I went, thought it was fucking. And see the work. Yeah, it was hard going, mate.
Graft.
Fuck it. See what they call the Grand Central Hotel now. It's Windsor House. We had to go in and got 3 floors out there. Right. And you were up. So you had to go up, strip it, go down, all the way to the bottom, skip, all the way back up, down, mate. I thought
you earned that 25 quid?
I thought it fucking right. You earned it, mate. Fuck. There's no way I would do it now. I wouldn't do it now for 100 a day. Not a chance, man.
It's because you make more than 100 a day?
Well, it's fucking, there's no way I would do it. Like, it's fucking, it was hard grafting. A fair play to anybody that gets in it. Like,
yeah, right.
It was good for the gym. It was good for tightening you up. Like, do you know what I mean? It was good for that way. The scaffolding was good for that too when I done it. Yeah. So it was, do you know what I mean? It was good for keeping you physically fit. Yeah. But fuck, it was hard graft. Like,
so let's go into the story of Harry's Barbershop. Now, I touched recently on another podcast about Harry's very, 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 very briefly. With Jory. About your humble beginnings with the business and how it's grew over time, and as a businessman you've grew and etc. So kind of tell people how you got started with Harry's.
So I'll if you listen to the podcast with Jory, what you said was right but wrong at the same time. So I'll explain it. So I served my time with Eamon and stuff. I loved it, mate. Absolutely class.
So who's it? Sorry, Eamon and stuff like.
Eamon owns EMG in Finnegan.
So that was your first. Not your first, but your last.
That was the last
job in
job,
barbering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I went self-employed.
Okay.
I served my time with Eamon, and when I got the chance to open the shop, I went for it. Eamon gave me 2 chairs that he didn't need anymore, and Connor built the bench for 100 quid. You got it all right. You just sort of mixed a few wee bits up, but it was all right. And took him out in my bedroom. I had all my own tools and went for it. So I did. And it was fucking busy from the word go. Like, it was fucking, it couldn't have landed any better for me. Like, it was class. Pardon me. And then I brought in Chris. Chris's dad came and asked me, would I train him up? Or more of a summer job is what Chris was after. No problem, mate. Brought him out. So the reason I was more of a yes man then was because when I was trying to get my feet in the door at barbering, nobody would help me. Nobody, I mean nobody would help me in this local area. Hence why I had to go to Belfast to get my help. So I said, yeah, well, I'll give him a chance, give him a go. And then Chris was in first, and then I brought Jamie in. We did the video before or after Jamie?
I was doing.
I think you were in before. I think your first video was before Jamie.
I don't think even Chris was with you when I done the first video. It was just you.
Just me?
It was just you.
Right.
It was just you. Just to quickly give backstory to the listeners on that, you saw one of my YouTube videos.
I was actually taking this the other day.
And you texted me and said...
The video got shared of your woman in Botanic Gardens. Fucking fair, anybody. Then I realised that you done YouTube videos. And because I knew your man, I mailed you and says, if you want a free haircut, call down and stick me on your YouTube channel. Yeah. And you came down and you said, so I can't remember what it was you said, but I knew that you knew about the law of attraction. Yeah. So that got the conversation going, and you shot my first promo video on your phone. Yeah. So you did. And then after that that was the first video you shot, and then we'll go into the other videos as we're going on. Yeah. Then hold on, let's see. So the shop opened the shop. Yep. Chris came in, then Jamie came in. Yep. And then all the other ones came in. So we opened the second shop and got everybody trained up, and everybody from there on everybody. The ones who stuck it out are all doing brilliant for themselves, like doing really, really well for themselves.
Yeah.
So they are, which is good to see.
Obviously, you said there you started off, everything was going well, but kind of going from getting a secure employ up in EMG, is it called? So up in EMG, you had your regulars, you had your money sorted out, you were going to work, you liked who you worked with, etc., etc. What was your motivating factor to take that leap and go, I need something for me, I need a legacy for myself, I need this for me?
Going back on to what you enjoy, we're talking about again, the book, Think and Grow Rich, the Burning Desire. Burn all bridges behind you and fucking go for it. It has to work.
Yep.
The fear, we were talking about 1 foot in the water, 1 foot out of it.
Yep.
The fear, it has to happen. This has to fucking work.
Yep.
And that was it. At the time, that was the mindset, and I thought, this has to work. Like,
absolutely.
I knew it would. It didn't work the way I thought it was going to work. It turned out better.
Yeah.
So it turned out better than I ever thought it was going to. Do you know what I mean? But it was, it had to work. It had to work. It was sort of that 18, couldn't breathe, couldn't sleep properly, going, shit, this has to work. And it did.
Yep.
But I don't mean to say but it didn't work the way I was expecting it to work. It was completely different. Do you know what I mean? It was completely different because of just different issues.
Well, look, I think people out there would take a lot of inspiration from the fact that you started off with nothing. You went in the shop there, you didn't have enough money to kit it out. You're pulling out fucking mirrors from your own house. You got 2 free chairs. Your friend helped you out with £100 bench. You opened the door and said,
It's actually Sticky who's best man at my wedding. Me and Sticky's known each other, like you and Jory.
Yeah.
We've known each other since we were in nursery school.
Yeah.
It was his younger brother that put the bench in for me.
Yep. So just...
And Connor still does my joinery at the moment. Any joinery work.
Yeah, you got to stick with him now, for fuck's sake. If he helped you with the first one, you know what I mean?
He actually moved the 2 chairs for me today. So he then brought his wee lad in for a haircut. His wee lad sits great, mate. So he does telly, never flinches. So he just sits there, loves it.
Well, just like going into that, so obviously you going in there with all that risk and starting from nothing and having nothing, the fact that you've been able to employ a lot of people, like some people's came, some people's gone, some people's doing their own thing, etc., etc. But this spawned from you taking a leap of faith, you believing in nothing other than yourself. And like I said, you had a burning desire. You sat every day and night and thought, this needs to work. How will I make this fucking work? And there's people out there who will never, ever, ever, ever take that leap.
See, let me see. Let me get this right. So, the book. Let's go back to the book. I remember sitting in that shop, right, and I hadn't even made it past page 30.
Yeah.
And I was in my own shop.
Yep.
So, I mean, every time I lifted that book and read a fucking paragraph, something happened. So, but that took me. So I started 2013 the shop. That took me 4 years to get, because I watched the guy on YouTube who talked about being a barber when you're not behind the chair. Do you know what I mean? And he talked about that book, and that's where I got the book from. So every time I lifted, something progressed me, and then I hadn't made it past page 30 when you came in. I gave you the book. We hadn't made it past page 100 at 2 shops, and you had your own video company on the go. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was page 100. We hadn't even made it past page 100, and we both had things on the go. Do you know what I mean?
So I just want to get.
It's all about the mindset. Like,
I just want to give the listeners and the viewers, because I don't know if we touched on it, what book we're actually talking about. I think I might have skimmed past it quickly. So
you did, yeah. Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, so Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is all around law of attraction and how to attract money into your life.
There's different copies of it, and if you can do a snippet. Do the snippet of the one that I gave you, the one that we use. Yeah. Because everybody I've bought that book for, I bought the exact same copy as what I had. I've seen other copies, but I made sure everybody had the same copy of the one that I had. So
yeah. So that book was, a massive motivator for you, and it changed your life because it gave you an understanding of anything that you want in this life is all up here.
Yeah,
Anything,
just
whatever
have
it
to
is,
manifest it, yeah.
you want to be happy, no problem. Start thinking, how can I be happy, and take a step towards your happiness every single day. If your happiness would be better served by more monetary value, for example, where we come from, we're both from council estates, you know what I mean, and
Born and reared.
born
Love it.
reared, where what's in council estates, or what's lack of in council estates? Money,
Yeah.
opportunities. You know, you don't really know too many people who make it really, really well in life.
Go ahead. I'll
So
get it.
just going off that, like the reading that book, it gave you a belief, it gave you hope.
Yeah.
And from that, you gave that book to me, and I can hands down say it's done the exact same thing for me. I read that book like it was the fucking Bible itself. I was like, wow, people actually just think themselves into being able to do these things.
In the money.
And then when I made that promo video for you on the Samsung S7,
That's right,
when I made that for you, you tagged me in a post and said, thanks at Nook Productions. Now, my YouTube name back then was Nook.
Yeah.
And when you said that, boom, the light bulb went off, and I says, that's it. That's the one.
I've had you in my phone ever since. It's Nick Productions.
Well, there you go.
That's what it is.
And
Nick
that's
Productions ever since.
And that's just the power of believing.
Yeah.
Believing that you can do something, whatever it is. If you decided tomorrow that you were done with barbering and you're going to be a solicitor, say if you went into Belfast, someone never met you before in their fucking life, and you pull out a car and said, Harry fucking Preshur, solicitor at so-and-so, people would now believe you're a solicitor, mate. You can be whatever you want. Now, obviously, solicitor is something you need to be educated for, but whatever it is that you want to be, you give yourself a business card for it. You start going out into that world and you telling people, I'm going to be this, and I am this.
Did you ever hear the story of what do you call him? Ace Ventura. What's his name? Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Ever
He
heard
wrote himself a check.
Himself a check, mate.
Love it.
Before was it?
Go ahead, tell the story just for the listeners so they know.
So the story goes, when he first started out as an actor, he wrote himself a check for 10 million. I think it was 10 million, and he had it in his wallet, and it got to a point where it was falling apart over the years, but he kept it in it and kept it in it. And when he released, I think it was Dumb and Dumber 2, I think it
Maybe
was.
Dumb
It
and
was,
Dumber
it was
2,
a second of one of his movies. He cashed that check in.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
And he was in his car. And
he lived in his
was
car.
homeless.
He had fucking nothing.
Nothing.
He had nothing.
Comedian that had probably his mum going, you're a fucking no one, this, that. He had nothing going for him. The one thing he did have going for him was up here.
It was a burning desire to make it.
It was a burning desire to make it, and an understanding of I will make it.
I will make this.
This is my goal here.
Yeah.
I'm going to write this to myself. There's actually a sheet that I wrote and you signed, and I signed yours. And I think it was something along the lines of book 10 weddings in a year or something like that was mine. And obviously the following year I absolutely smashed that.
I
And
think I had 11 booked within the first month or 2 months.
yeah,
I
you
read
know,
that. Like, I still have that bit of paper somewhere.
yeah.
So I still have that somewhere.
But that's just,
And the money that we wrote down, I'm not going to say what it was,
yep.
but I wasn't kicking the arse off it. Like,
Well,
I wasn't kicking the arse off it.
any money.
I said if it was dollars, I made it.
Yeah.
But because it was sterling, I wasn't kicking the arse off it. Like,
Well, I mean, any money numbers that we put down back then, I can safely say we're probably smashing them now, because here we are, fucking however many years later, and you know, I've had a few businesses. Now I've got a Tiernan Media, and you've got Harry's, and now you've got the Chippy, and you're probably going to dip your hands into some more things down the line, probably.
I've got my feelers into something else already. Well, not tell you yet.
Well, so there you go. You know, that's a winner's mentality in my eyes. Is no matter what happens or what goes on, you think, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? I don't care if I had no fucking house. If Georgia left me and I had nothing, and my mum didn't want to speak to me, I go shower at the gym, live in my car, and go, right, who's going to employ me for next month here while I work out my next move?
Definitely.
That's a
100%.
fucking winner, mate.
It's
Someone who doesn't let their fucking the external world affect them. If I was in a room full of 100 people and there was no way out, I think, who am I killing first? That's the way I fucking think.
It's good to know that if it all went to shit, you could start again.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? You could just start again and just do it again. Fuck it.
I said it in one of
It
the
may
other.
not be the same, but it was something else.
I think I said it in one of the other podcasts, and you actually brought it up off the air about what is money, especially when you're young. you become bankrupt, and you've
Yeah,
obviously
twice,
been
yeah.
through this process.
Twice.
You've been bankrupt twice now. Look at you.
Not bankrupt, bad credit.
Bad credit,
Bad
right?
credit.
So bad credit. But even bankruptcy only
Yeah.
lasts so
Same
many
sort of thing,
years.
yeah.
It only lasts so
6.5,
many
7
years.
years, yeah.
Yeah. So
I've done it twice.
if you're 18 and you're going out there and you're going to try something new, okay, you fuck it up. Okay, your mum's heartbroken. Okay, you can't have a car on finance because you fucked it. 7 years later, mate, when you're 25,
Yeah.
you can go again.
See if anybody's listening to this and they're talking about it, they're like, that. Here's what. So I'll tell you what I fucked mine up over. Right, I fucked mine up over a motorbike. Right, I got sent to jail for a fight and
Look at that.
couldn't make those fucking payments. So fuck that. 6.5 years later, I had a £500 credit card and fucked it over that, over
Yeah.
a £500 credit card. So I actually got another credit card about a month ago. So I did, and it's fucking, I'm going for it again because I watched 2 videos. One of Robert, somebody, I can't pronounce his second name, the Rich Dad Poor Dad guy,
Yeah.
and the guy from Catch Me If You Can. I watched two interviews of them guys, and one of them was talking about the credit score and what he done with the Catch Me If You Can guy. The real guy, like not the Leonardo DiCaprio, but the real guy. When his sons went to university, he gave them a credit card each. He paid the bill, but he knew exactly what they were spending their money on. But when they came out of university, they had good credit scores.
Right.
So that's why he done it. So they
Okay.
were able to come out and have a good credit score. And the Think and Grow Rich guy says, never ever use a debit card. Always use a credit card. Why fucking spend your money when you spend theirs?
I mean, you can spend
Do you know
theirs.
what I mean?
And
And the whole point to it, what both of them touched on, see if you use a debit card and you go on their website and you fucking pay it and somebody takes your money, you lose 10 grand like that. See if it's a credit card, the credit card company's liable for that money. You're not liable for that money.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm now trying to do all mine on a credit card now.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that, but with a stipulation of if you don't have the means to pay that money back.
Oh well, yeah, yes, right, all right. There's that. So as far as I know, I'm led to believe there's 3 ways of paying your credit card. You pay the minimum, you pay half, you pay the full. I'm paying the full every month. I have the money there. I am making sure that I pay the full amount first every month, and that's how you'll stay on top of it. So there's no point getting a credit card and spending £500 a week, and you only make fucking X amount, and you don't pay it within the month. You pay the minimum. Nah, fuck that there. I'll try and use that credit card over the month, so as I know when my money was in the bank, and that there's more money in my bank than what's owed on that, so as I can pay it off.
Yeah, because credit
That builds
cards,
a credit score.
they have massive APRs, so you might end up only borrowing 2 grand, but you can't pay it off over 5 years, and then end up paying them back like nearly triple that.
Aye,
You know what I mean?
it's crazy.
So that's what keeps the poorer class quite poor, because they're paying off debts that they would otherwise, if they had good credit, they wouldn't have to pay that amount of money back. They'd pay a fucking minute part of that back. So, yeah.
It's the same as buying your cars and stuff, you know. I had a mate, when he bought his car, how he done it, and which was the fucking best thing to do. He got a bank loan and bought the car outright. So he was paying the bank back rather than the company.
Yeah.
He was paying back cheaper interest rates. On the
Absolutely.
bank.
And if you can do that, you certainly
That's the way
should.
to do it.
100%. Aye.
And we're back.
We're back. Just in case you wanted the.
No, that's right.
obviously-
There.
So you completely off the fags?
No.
Right, okay.
But they taste better.
Right.
So they don't hit the same, but it's the habit.
Yeah.
So it's just the habit.
Yeah.
So,
It's almost like a tick.
aye.
Yeah.
Shit was-
Right. So
fucking
let's get into some of the other things that you touched on through some of your stories there, and one of them was your time spent in jail. So
Yeah.
kind of tell us about that, the experience of going through what I would say probably a horrible time of your life.
Yeah. So hence why we're sitting on Monster now and not alcohol, because I can't handle my alcohol. I can't handle a drink. I fight with everybody when they drink at me. I think I'm fucking Mike Tyson when I'm with a drink, so fuck that there. Kids are around now, I have to cut my bar that shit. Get in there, fight one night, outside a bar, get jailed for it, get out. I know it's just going to sound fucking stupid and fucking, I look at him, he thinks he's big lad, but I don't mean it this way. I don't. See, at the end of my sentence, see if the governor had offered me another 3 months, I'd have ripped his arm off for it. Because the training I was doing in the gym was fucking best training I've ever done. Like, do you know what I mean? I know that sounds, fucking check me, but it doesn't mean it to sound like it's just the way it was. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't have no ties. I had fuck all in. Do you know what I mean? Wasn't that it was easy. Just I didn't have no responsibilities, and I met Shelly while I was in there actually at that same period, and I've been with her ever since. 19 years this year.
Right, so you kind of, I think you kind of glossed over that a little bit. So you got in a fight with somebody when you were on the drink.
Yeah.
Do you regret the fight?
100%.
Right, so it was something that you did. You don't like being that person.
No.
And that person ended up getting this fight. We'll not say names or where or whatever.
Oh, I don't know who it was.
Oh, you don't even know who it was? Right, okay. So
No idea who it was.
You ended up they didn't die or anything, did they?
No,
right.
No, fuck.
So you obviously regret getting in the fight, and you got sent to what prison or jail?
I went to McGabry first, and then 3 months in McGabry, and shipped off to McGilligan for the remainder of my sentence. And my last 3 months, I got moved over to Foilview, which is like a Category C prison. It's just like a youth club sort of thing. But you just can't go home.
Right. Okay.
So it's a lot more relaxed. You get out every other weekend.
So tell me, what age were you whenever this happened?
Get into the fight at 22, get jailed at 23, get out at 24.
Right, so you're 22. So what goes through a 22-year-old's head who's just being told he's going to jail?
At the time, at the time it was alright. I didn't care. And I don't mean to sound like a dick again, but I'd been in and out since I was 18 for fighting. So I had in High Bank. So I had, couple of weeks, couple of months at a time on remand and out sentenced and out again. Never done sentence in High Bank, just only ever done remand on High Bank. And then, so I thought, right, fuck, I'm going in, but this time I'm going to the big boys' house. So 22, fucking 23, fucking hard as fuck, thinking a big lad, fucking, I only think that door slams behind you, but fucking shake yourself time, like.
So once you got in there and the doors were closed, was your heart going? Were you worried about being assaulted? Were you worried about who's around you? Who's in what paramilitaries?
You're surrounded by hardcore criminals in there, like fucking. I get into a fight. These boys are in there for beating people to death. Do you know what I mean? Armed robbers, murderers, fucking proper gangsters, paramilitaries of both sides.
Yeah.
You're fuck all when you walk in there. Like you're nothing when you walk in there. You're fuck all.
So take me through kind of your first day. You've obviously, did you go in at night time for your first day? Was it?
No, went in fucking afternoon. So went in. I actually went on the committal wing, and I was on the committal wing for about 3 weeks, and then get moved off that there. You're only meant to be on that for a week. I was on it for about 3 or 4 weeks. I was on it for, and get moved over then into the main jail with everybody else. Got doubled up with a fella who you'd never met before in my life. A fella from Oma, I can't remember his name. Then he asked me to swap cells with another fella across the way because they were from the same area. The fella who I was going in with was from Tigers Bay, sort of Tigers Bay area. So he was, so I knew sort of the same sort of people. So I doubled up with him. He's actually dead now. He died in a motorbike crash. So he did. And met other guys while I was in there, because you stick to your own sort of thing. You mingle with everybody, but you stick to your own.
When you say stick with your own, you mean stick with your own religion?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because you stick with your own religion, and then, like I say, you mingle with everybody, but you're better off sticking with your own. Do you mean?
When you say you're better off sticking with your own, you're trying to say so you don't get assaulted behind closed doors, or they don't grab you
because you don't get fucking filled in.
They say, "Oh, he's a provo or whatever," or what would they say? What do they? He's a hun. That's it, a hun. Sorry, he's a hun or whatever, and grab you when no one's looking and try and quickly
beat you or something. It does happen, but it doesn't happen that much.
But is that why you say stick to your own?
That's why you stick to your own.
Right, okay.
That's
So
why you stick to your own.
quite similar to American prison where they say stick with your own, or
Yeah,
you know.
but in American jails it's different.
It's more race. It's race.
They're race based.
Yeah, they're
here
race based.
It's religious based.
It's religion. It's mad. It's mad
It's
everywhere. It's
stupid.
got something like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Over here it's religion. Over in America it's race.
It's race.
God knows what it is in flipping Brazil. Probably fucking what gang you in.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So your kind of first day. Kind of talk.
So
us
you
through
go
it.
in there. So you're in there. Get moved over into the other. Well, I was in the jail for about 3 days. Get moved to the other guy. Got to know a few guys on the wing. Riot kicked off. Everybody got fucking locked down. Was on it for about. Holy cow! Let me see. Hang on. In that cell with him on 24-hour lockup for a week. Pardon me. And then get shipped off to McGilligan. So, pardon me. And then McGilligan, you're a cell your own. You go on the committal wing on there. Then you get moved on to another wing. And happened to walk onto that wing and seen a fella standing at the cell door and thought, I fucking know him.
Right.
Went down, put my bag in, came back up and I asked him, are you such and such? And he says, oh, and I says, I'm Harry Preshur. Fuck me, what's happening? I hadn't seen this guy since 4th year.
Wow.
So I mean, this guy, he left our school in 4th year and had never seen him again. Walked on that wing at 23-year-old. Now, so what are you, 4th year? 15?
Yeah.
Hadn't seen him since I was 15, walked on that wing at 23 and fuck, I know you. So he introduced me to everybody and fucking again, stick their own and fucking, but again, you mingle. You mingle with everybody, like, do you know what I mean? There's fucking, unless you're a dick, you fucking, you just mingle with people. Go and play pool with people, walk the yard with people, fucking, and some of them people that I met on them wings, I'm still in touch with today.
Yeah, so just getting a little bit deeper in that to give the audience an understanding. When I'm saying what was your day like? I mean, what was the day? So you wake up and what's the first thing you do?
So I do during the day.
What was a typical day
what's your routine?
in a Northern Irish prison?
So you get up at I think it's 8 o'clock. Straight up the toilets, wash, change, back down, breakfast, back down. You can sit in the hall and have your breakfast. You can take it back to your cell, sup yourself. Then you're locked up again to do numbers, and then you're away to either education or work placements. Give the joinery another go. And shade at that again. Like it was crap. But that was all right. There was actually a guy in my joinery class who I knew of before I went in. I met him in there. He now lives in the same street as me. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So we done the joinery in there. Then you're back for lunch. You go back to your cell, back onto your wing for lunch, locked up again, and then you get in the afternoon, you go back to your work placement, and then after that you go back onto your wing, get your dinner, then you're locked up again, then you're out for association, where you go out and you mingle with everybody, go and play pool. There's a small gym on the landing, you can go and use it. Not too many people. Well, a couple of people used it. I never used it. Like, you walk the yard, or you just sort of mingle with each other, cells, cups of tea, cups of coffee, and then I think it's about 8 o'clock at night. That's you locked up at 8 o'clock again the next day. You're in your cell, read a book, write letters to your loved ones, watch TV. Some boys play PlayStation and listen to music. Whatever you do.
What the fuck is going on here? What the fuck is that? That just sounds to me like fucking summer camp. Go play fucking football, fucking play the PlayStation.
It was. I don't fucking say it was easy. It was different because again I had no ties outside. You know what I mean? I had no family. I had a mate who I was actually chatting with him yesterday on Facebook. We were close mates in there. See, on a Saturday, you couldn't talk to him.
Why?
Because he has a visit with his kids on a Saturday,
and
he came back and he slammed that door and you couldn't talk to him, like, because he bawled his eyes out. Well, I'm assuming he went in there and bawled his eyes out because now if it was me and I had my kids, they'd say I have a ball my fucking eyes out. Do you know what I mean? So
can't show that kind of weakness in a place like that.
So
in a male-dominated place like that.
On a Saturday was different. On a Saturday you were like locked from 4:30, and that was you right through the next day. You didn't get association on Saturday night.
Right. Okay.
So you didn't. So
why? Do you think they'd be more lenient on a weekend?
No, fuck no.
No? Maybe there's less guards or something. That's fine.
Probably, aye.
Less guards.
I don't
during
know.
the
They
weekend.
just you lock up longer on a Saturday.
Right.
So he
Okay.
did. But he went in on a Saturday afternoon. That was him. Like you didn't see him again till the next day.
So what about bit of a taboo subject? So obviously lifers and stuff like that.
Lifers are housed in a different unit.
So they're in
Anybody under 9 years went to McGilligan. Anybody over 9 years stayed in McGabry.
right. Okay. Because I was going to
So
go
you
in.
didn't associate with lifers. Because short timers are in and out, in and out, in and out. The employees are in there for a long time. Right? So I mean,
Right,
you want to
okay.
be associating with you. Like.
So maybe I'll still ask you the question because
Boys had budgies now. So that
what do you mean budgies?
it's the lifers have budgies and stuff.
Like
Just to keep
animals?
to keep their mind fucking ticking.
Yeah,
over.
so what I was going to ask is obviously men are naturally fucking sexual creatures and there's no females in
Not
there.
that kind of like,
There was none?
no.
Are you sure?
Not that I
Not that
was
you
aware
saw?
of. Like not that I was aware
So
of.
that's what I was thinking about lifers because people who's never going to see the light of day again,
No
they
idea.
just go fucking I'm gay.
No idea.
No?
Couldn't tell
Not
you.
hear anything like that?
I would imagine so, but nah.
So what was it very much like a man's world? Like you needed to
you're
be a
right.
man's man.
You're watching too
And-
much TV. Not that I'm aware of. Not that
But
I'm
I know
aware
I'm
of.
saying I'm watching too much TV, but like I could just imagine if I was 30 years of age and I'm never going to see light again and never have a chance for love again. Never. Some people is just going to say, "Fuck it, you're a chick to me." You know
No
what I mean?
idea, man. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Nothing like that. I never seen or heard nothing like that. Like,
Fair enough. Right. So, I mean, to me, that seems like a fucking holiday camp, but maybe it was tougher.
I was talking
and,
to a mate. One of my mates just recently got out of jail,
uh-huh.
and we were talking about it the other day, and we got lifted when we were about 18, and he swore, "Oh, I'm never going back. I'm never going back." Fuck, he's done jail in all sorts of countries now, but he says it's completely different now than what it was when we were in 20 years ago.
Is it even easier now?
No, it's harder.
It's
He said
harder now?
Everybody's a fucking drug addict.
Ah,
Everybody's a fucking
right.
drug addict. He says
Right.
it is fucking disgusting. He says he'll never go back. Like,
yeah.
fuck that. He says no way. Everybody's a drug addict now.
So in our prison system, obviously, for anybody who isn't from Northern Ireland, and obviously people in Northern Ireland, we're very paramilitary based world. I know that sounds fucking really weird for people who aren't from here.
Yeah.
But it's just based on the life we had before the Good Friday Agreement,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. So in the prison system, is there very much them factions? He's in the he's in the so and so, and he's in the so and so, and that all gets chirped about things outside the inside.
More so McCavery than there was McGilligan. McGilligan
Right,
wasn't like that. There was your crews, if you will, but it wasn't the way it was down there
Right. Okay.
because they're longer sentence. They need a bit more discipline, if you will.
Right. Okay.
It's a bit more structured.
So going off of that, then, let's talk about your near-death experience and what that done for your life, because it
Well,
seems to me that it changed your life.
100%.
So
100%.
explain to people what happened there. And,
So, as far as I can remember, it actually stone's throw away from here is where it first happened. Like,
Right,
yeah,
okay.
literally next street over from where we are now.
Mm. Just tell people what happened that night.
So it was I'd been on the drink from the Friday. We finished work on the Friday, and I'd been on the drink on the Friday, right through on the Saturday night, Sunday, and get in there with a fella, and when I had left, it was done, it was dusted, like, and he must have phoned me 13 times. Like, I'm not gonna fucking, I'll do this, I'll do that. That's fucking right, I'm back on. I was nearly, he gave me another 10 minutes, like, and I had been a whole different party, like. So me and the mate went back, and me and the other fella had a fucking, we sort of got it on. He pulled a flick stick out, whacked me up the fucking side of the head with a flick stick. But as me and him were about to square off, I seen his mates walking up the street. So I knew it was about to fucking kick off here, and I thought, fuck, this way, I didn't come all this way for nothing. So I got in there, and two of us went at it, and the next thing, fucking the blows were coming from everywhere. Like, I mean, the fucking flash, bang, bang, bang. And I looked over, and my mate was sitting on the end of the curb, and the fucking blood was flying out of him. They beat us with hammers and hatchets. They beat the fuck out of us, like. So I grabbed him, and we run out on where the school is out there. There was a guy driving past, hadn't seen this guy fucking years, man. He just happened to drive past, and he picked us up, put us in the car, and drove us off. And we went and seen our fucking crowd, and fucking blah blah blah. All sort of went to see our crowd to try and get it all squashed, get it all sorted. Right, last night, that's the fucking head, blah blah blah. And then it all fucking kicked off there again. And the last thing I remember there was getting whacked up the head with a bat, and fucking woke up in the hospital 3 days later.
Shit.
So it did, and from what I'm led to believe, 2 girls threw themselves on top of me because they were beating me that bad. They kicked the fucking face off these 2 girls trying to get at me. So it did. I blacked out. I only remember bits and pieces of it. Like, you know, there's obviously a lot more to what I'm saying, but I don't remember it. And I still, to this day, 17, nearly 18 years later, I still don't remember it. Like, so, but the people I do remember who were involved in it, I've made my peace with them. Like, do you know what I mean? I've stood and had conversations with them loads of times after it. I made that initial, listen, fuck this here. I have a family coming. I don't want to be involved in this anymore. And listen, you fucking started it, right? Dead on, no bar. That's sorted. And all bar one, only one of them is, you know, I try to speak to him twice, and I thought I'll not be fucking doing that again, because he just blanked me. The rest of them were like, right, on fucking that's quiet. And I've talked to them, and I would still see some of them today and pump the horn. What's happening? How's it going? Keep well. Fuck it, dead on. Fucking let it be. And from then, I drank a year later and got arrested for fighting at the hotel. And that was after that. That was me. Fuck that. Actually, that's a lie. I got arrested for fighting at the hotel. It was after that I got into a fight with a fella who tried it on with Shelly when she was pregnant with my wing. He just got out of jail. He was a local hero. And I fucking got into him. And I got my arm broke for it.
Right.
And after that was me done. I just thought, fuck this. I'm done with that shit. Like,
So it kind of woke you up to, look, this whole going out, getting broke, fighting with people, so certain types of crowds and dealing with certain types of people and certain types of crowds. This just isn't worth it. This isn't what life's all about.
It's not the life I want to bring my kids up in. Like,
100%. So you were soon to be dad at this stage.
Soon to be dad. Aye.
Well, I think that changed a lot of people.
Well, soon to be dad when I took the hatchet to the head. And the only reason I knew it was a hatchet to the head was because the guy I tried to speak to who blanked me told everybody he beat me with a hatchet. So I mean, but again, I tried to sort out him. Like, look, fuck it, it's done. Forget about it. But he blanked me, so fuck him. But I got the arm broke a year later. If I ever find a photograph of Harvey's first birthday, I'll show you it. He's sitting on my left knee because I was plastered from my knuckles to my shoulder. So I put him on my left knee so as to hide the plaster, so you couldn't see it. So and then after that, I thought, fuck this, man, I'm done with drinking. Like,
so if you could talk to your 16-year-old self again, what would you say to him?
Join the army.
Join the army. And why would that be?
Because that was my dream. My whole life was to join the army. And when I went and done my interview, they said to me, "Have you ever took drugs?" And my man always told me honesty is the best policy. And I says to them, "Look, I smoked this thing in summer camp that I thought I was told was a joint, but it didn't really do nothing to me." And they says, "Come back in January and it'll be your system." I know now today that it wasn't a joint that I'd smoked, and I shouldn't have opened my fucking mouth. I should have said fuck all. The mate who done the interview with me the same day went and seen the world. So yeah, I went and seen the world, and I fucked it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I fucked it.
So that's the advice you would give.
I tell fucking join the army.
Okay, so then another question for you is, what would you say to any aspiring barbers and or hairdressers looking to get into the industry? What can they expect? Where's their opportunities? What should they be focusing on at the moment? And how do they build a clientele?
Fuck, hang on, let's see. Grind it out. Do everything you can. Just push and push. Try and, there's different ways of doing it. You go for a tag, you can do an apprenticeship, or you can just fucking go for it. A lot of guys I've met in the industry are self-taught, and they're fucking amazing. They are amazing at what they do. And now it's more social media as well. Fucking have a social media presence, let everybody see your work, fucking keep going, grind it out. offer free haircuts at the start. Fucking just grind it and don't let anybody fucking put you off, because everybody will slobber about you. The majority of people who will slobber about you are other barbers, but other barbers aren't putting money in your pocket; they're taking money out of your pocket.
Let me quickly just say slobber means trash talk. Just for anyone who's not from Northern Ireland, it means talking shit. Is what slobbering is slang for over here.
Yeah.
So building the clientele, you were saying there, social media, doing free haircuts at the start because people aren't going to trust your work yet. They've built yourself a bit of a portfolio almost.
Your Instagram's now your portfolio.
Yeah, so once you're happy with your standard of work, you're popping things on Insta. I'm going to give people a little bit of advice, which you do. You didn't mention, but I think you do it very well. It's a very good piece of business that you do. So you have a booking software, and you do a method which is amazing, and I love it because I love it as a business person. And you block book your clients. You block book them in. So one as a client, I feel obligated to turn up at that exact time each other week for me, but whoever you've block booked. A lot of places do not do that. They want you to go on and do everything where you're taking a little bit of your time to sort that out and have, okay, so-and-so comes in at this time every single week. I'm going to block that out for the next 6 months for them. That's a fucking smart business move, mate.
Yeah.
In your industry, because there's not many other people doing that.
I have... Majority of mine would be, so my last ones every Monday, every Wednesday, every Thursday evenings are always the same. So you're every other Monday, Sturdy's every other Monday. You and Sturdy so it was Sturdy tomorrow, where it was you last Monday. Or not tomorrow, this Monday coming.
Yeah.
Then I have the same ones every other Wednesday. They rotate as well. Every other Thursday rotates, but it's always the same people. Friday, I have 4 people in every week. And then again, it rotates. It's the same people every 2 weeks. Saturday, I have about 4, maybe 5 people that are every Saturday. And again, the rest rotate every other Saturday.
Brilliant piece of business. Right.
Yeah. The block booking.
Oh, so follow on about the block booking.
So block booking, I know some people that go, sure, what do you want to have the same people in every week, every 2 weeks for? Sure, it's crap. But you get to know people, and you get to know. They got a guy in this morning, and I say to him, well, and he move on the house, because him and his girlfriend are buying their first house. So I'm able to progress through that story and listen to how it's going, where it's moving, and some of them have just had like yourself, had a baby.
Yep.
Well, how's the chair? How's the wee one going? Jamie brought us wee one on the day for his first haircut.
Brilliant.
So I brought Stacey on the day for his first haircut. Jamie's in every 2 weeks. Brings Lyle in every 2 weeks. He's class.
Yeah.
Lyle's 2 or 3. I stand in the shop one day having a fig, and he came out and says, "Yo, any chance you cut my hair?" Looks fat, kid. Not a problem. Straight out, play, bang, deleted.
But
so it was.
I mean, I would almost prefer to have people that. Well, for me, if I was a barber, I'm not a barber, but if I was a barber, the people that I like, I would like, get your block booked in. The people that I don't like, I would be finding someone to block book in the times that they usually come, so that I can just have people that I really enjoy being around every day.
No,
That's me personally.
Well, see, it's different for me. I actually, on a post last night, somebody says, which you learn in the industry as well, they say that the 2 things you shouldn't talk about are politics and religion. So they're my 2 favourite subjects. And I have a lot of clients who have completely different views than me. And we sit and debate them every 2 weeks.
But that's life, man. You have to be able to fucking
debate them every 2 weeks. But it's never vengeance.
Yeah.
I like to hear their side of the story or the argument or whatever. And they like to hear my views on it as well. And that's what keeps them coming back. Like,
100%.
Do you know what I mean? I have one guy who he is completely different to me. But for me, it's, and I wrote on that post as well, I'll talk politics religion with people all the time, but there's more to them than that. I'm more interested in his morning routine, his gym workout, his career, and his family. Than I am about his politics or his religion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's not what we always talk about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But we do talk about it, like.
100%.
But it's his morning routine, his gym habits that I'm more interested in.
But see, I feel like a barbershop sometimes, and your barber, you actually sometimes share more info with your barber than you do your wife. because you're having like a tough time, and you know you can't get exactly what you're saying out. Like a woman might not understand, but another man does.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're in a barbershop, which with all men, like there's certain things you can get off your chest with your barber or have a bitch about or whatever that you can't even have that with your wife.
I've
a special relationship almost.
I've sat and listened to people talk about stuff, and you're going like, "Fuck, that's heavy." And I've actually had ones come back near the end of the day and say, "Mate, listen, can I have a chat with you?" Yeah, what's up? Go, listen. Hope you don't mind me sharing that earlier on there. I just need to get it. Listen, don't worry about it. It's like going on a lad's holiday. What's stayed in the barbershop stays in the barbershop.
100%.
Don't worry about it.
100%. So I have another question for you here. Are there any specific ways in which you try to give back to your community and help others who may have faced similar challenges as you?
I always try and give back. Always try and give back to people. So I like helping people. I think because I've been through a lot of shit. Do you know what I mean? And I know when somebody's saying they're going through something, I can identify with not everything, but I can identify with a lot of stuff that people's going through. So I can try and give them advice, and this is how I would do it. And this, if you're struggling with something, or if you're going for a new job, or try and give people advice on how to go through an interview, and then always hit them up how you do in the interview and stuff. And community, always try and sort of chip in where I can when I can. So I sort of. I just sort of try and give back every time I get, every chance I get. Like.
I mean, me personally, I've seen you give opportunities to a lot of people. You give opportunities to me, and I want to thank you for that as well. So I wouldn't be even half the man I am today if it wasn't for you.
Thanks very much, man.
I swear
Appreciate
to God,
it, man. Thank you. Appreciate it,
man.
Thank you very much.
It's because you gave me that shot. Whenever I started Nook Productions, the first bit of money I ever had coming in was coming from you.
Yeah.
And I was doing your weekly videos and everything like that. And I want to thank you for believing in me, because it only takes that one person to put you in the right track to change your life.
Thanks very much.
So I feel like you've done that for a lot of people, not just me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who's came through and you've took them under your wing and you've set them in the right track, whether they want to fucking admit that or not. There is people out there that you have gave a career to and a start in life that they never had, and people should be appreciative of that, and I'm appreciative of that.
Thanks very much, man. Appreciate
and not even in that world, you're the kind of guy that if you're in the barbershop and someone mentions a service that you know someone who does that service, first thing you do is recommend them.
Yeah.
You're like, here, take his number. Oh, here, that's him on Facebook. Or, oh, here, actually, I've got his card or whatever. And you're constantly giving people support, and even when they're not there. I
have got loads of people jobs.
Yeah.
So I've had actually people who don't get a haircut in my shop come to me in the middle of the street and say, "Hi, you told my brother about something." So I go, yeah, I got that job. Nice one, mate. Happy days.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nice to see, man.
I like to say, I know a guy knows a guy. So I mean, if you're looking at something, give us a shout. I know a guy knows a guy.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and I think it's a lot of barbershops like that, aren't there? Just because you meet so many different people, and it's nice that you can help your clients. Like your client comes in there, he spends £17.50, 15 quid, but I don't know all your prices. I know my price, £17.50. Comes in there, spends £17.50, and you end up sitting down with someone who could end up giving him a £500,000 contract for £17.50.
I've actually had
you know what I mean?
I've actually had people sitting in my chair talking about something, and somebody sitting in Gavin's chair talking about something.
And then they just...
Hold on a wee second here. And he's the next thing you know, they're at the front chatting away, and somebody's just landed a job. Or had a guy in the other day. Had Gary in this morning. The last time Gary was in early morning, Michael was in at the same time. Michael was talking about, he cracking up that his lawnmower was broke. And I says, hang on, mate, Gary's here, man. Gary fixes lawnmowers. Do you know what I mean? So they swap numbers. Delighted.
Love it.
Do you know what I mean? Class.
Love it, mate. So today's a big monumental historic day in history, and I know you have a lot of opinions about this stuff, and our opinions are probably different on a few things, but I know you are very much in this world in terms of you're going to be more educated about this than me, so I want people to understand that you might be in a better position if I have any counter arguments to anything you say. But today's a massive moment. Is the coronation of King King Charles, isn't it?
King Charles
King
III.
Charles. I almost forgot his name there. King Charles III. His coronation was today. 250 million spent on it. And kind of what's your opinion on the royals and the coronation? And
So my opinions on the royals. Just for anybody who's from the different side of the tracks from us.
What you mean by Catholics?
Not necessarily, but Republicans. They're not all Catholics. But anyway.
Right, okay.
So
people who hate the royals and hate
so
the
it was
union.
King Charles II, I think it was when the king stopped making the rules and it was Parliament that started making the rules. So people always, fuck our royals.
Yeah.
They tell us this, they tell us that. It's actually the Parliament that does it. I could be wrong. Charles I, Charles II, somewhere in there. Anyway, Charles III, not a fan.
Right.
Loved his ma, love his son. Not a fan of him.
Elaborate.
Not a fan of him. He's too close with the World Economic Forum, as far as I'm concerned. He's a globalist.
Right.
One world government.
Right.
They're the people that shut the world down, told us to lie, the pandemic. COVID's killing millions, COVID's doing this, COVID's doing that. They fucking lied to everybody. They lied. The World Economic Forum lied to everybody.
Right.
So they did. And Charles is too close to it for my liking. So I'm not a fan.
I mean, I agree that I'm not a fan of the World Economic Forum. I'm not a fan of globalism, because I feel like you'll know more about this, but I feel like globalism has a big agenda and it's not a very good one. But I'm going to say I don't think COVID was fake. I do think it was a real virus. I do think it came from China.
Yeah.
I do think that it did make some people sick.
It did.
But I do, on the opposite side of that, can you lock away healthy, young, fucking men and women?
So I never denied that there was a virus out there. Right? I never denied that. I denied how serious it was. Like, I remember sitting in the barbershop and one of the lads said, "Oh, 60 people died of this here virus." Or 60 people. I thought there's more than 100 people live in my street. They were in the estate, just my street alone.
Yeah.
With parents and kids. Just that street alone, there's over 100 people living on the street.
Yeah.
And you're worried about 60 people globally.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the media made it out to be. The media made it out that there was going to be like a zombie apocalypse. People got trapped dead in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
I know people took really sick with it.
Yeah.
My uncle hasn't been right since.
Yeah.
So he had what they call long COVID. I got it Christmas 2021, and it floored me for 5 days. Like, I was bedridden for 5 days. Like, I was fucked. So I was. Still didn't make me want to get the shot. Still wouldn't get it. Like, and I'm so glad I didn't get it. I know people who had threatened their jobs, couldn't go see grandparents. I attended one funeral during the whole thing where people stayed away because the government told them to.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. It was shocking. They lied to everybody, and now they're coming out to say, "Oh, we never recommended you lock the country down. We never forced vaccine mandates." You fucking did. You just did.
We'll get back into that in a minute. We'll get back in because that's a whole other beast.
All right.
But
that's a whole podcast on its own.
That's a whole it almost is a whole podcast on its own, talking about fucking COVID and the things that they've done and wrong, and now the thing. Because just very quickly, I don't want you to respond to this just because we'll end up going in the big rabbit hole. But very quickly, I do feel like the government almost tries to pretend and tries to manipulate us into believing that they said something differently than what they actually did. Because during the time, they changed their advice every week. And now that they've said that vaccines aren't completely safe, we're having vaccine injuries, people's claiming left, right and centre, all this other stuff. They're going, "Oh, we didn't do that," which is fucked up. Yeah. Completely fucked up. And we'll go back into it, we'll have time. But going back to the royals and going back to King Charles III and going back to 250 fucking million pound was spent on this. We are in a crisis. We are right this fucking second. We are in a council estate. People around here are struggling to get bread and fucking milk and pay for their car and pay their bills, and we have a quarter of $1 billion for one fucking day.
So I talked to somebody about this the other day, and they says that the money the royals bring in for tourists, I don't know the numbers, but they justified it, right? Not the $250,000, but in general,
yeah.
Right? I'm not worried about that, but you have to. So they'll throw a number out there and tell you this, but you have to remember, A lot of police that were there, a lot of soldiers that were there, that's their wages taken into consideration. They're getting paid anyway while they were there or not. Do you know what I mean? So if you actually dug deep on that number, it probably wouldn't be as high.
The motherfucker came out in a gold carriage.
Well,
Completely gold carriage.
You'll get people gurning, that's the, what do I call that there? Imperialism and all this here, sort of shit. The money that annoys me is the money that was spent on Joe Biden.
Oh, but that was fucked as well, because that was
me.
Specifically Northern Ireland that footed that bill, and it was 5 million.
That was disgusting.
So we've got $250 million for King Charles III, and then we've got 5 billion for Biden. But where's the help in the street? See the potholes at the back of the streets here where we are now? I had to put in a complaint about this because someone needs to come out and fix them.
Yeah.
So our roads are fucked. Most people are underpaid.
Fucked, our health services fucked.
Can't get to the GPs.
Can't get nothing. So I mean, can't get.
Most streets are run down.
People run about now trying to find a dentist because dentists aren't
taking
people on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they won't take you on.
And they're pumping money out for this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean?
We need to think about
that. The charge thing is I want to say a once in a lifetime thing. It will be for a lot of people.
Yes.
But I hope I'm young enough to see William do it again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, but then Nostradamus predicted the Charles isn't going to stay on the throne for long, and he's going to give it up for somebody unexpected. So read that one today.
Right.
So watch this space on that one. The Charles one, the money spent. I don't want to try and justify it, but it's a one-off. Do you know what I mean? The Biden thing, it annoys me more.
But see, so my point of view is, whenever I see people struggle, normal people, because I'm not from some really rich community that only knows people who are killing it. I know a lot of people who are doing very, very, very bad in life.
Yeah.
And when I hear that they're struggling to pay their debts and they're struggling to drive and they're struggling to pay just for food, but then I hear $250 million, I hear 5 million, I hear that things that
7 million for Biden.
7 million. So whatever numbers they are, whenever we could be given that, we could be fucking internally giving people more opportunity. Yeah. People who don't have them opportunities, give them more opportunities. Start up loans for businesses. Start going in the local businesses that could export abroad and kickstart them to start exporting abroad, so people here start doing better. But nobody thinks that way. It feels almost like the system is rigged so that to make sure that people who are doing bad always just about are not dead. Just about able to pay the bills or not dead.
That's exactly what it is. It is exactly done for that reason. It's to keep you in your place.
It's not right.
It's disgusting.
I feel like
it's so wrong.
Feel like if anyone who's in local parliament or even our local elections, whoever gets elected in, I feel like we need people who don't have any agendas, because now I say this because in the UK you can currently have special interest in business. You can run a business and be in parliament. That's fucked, because now if I run a business, for example, I run a gas company, let's say. What's the first thing I'm thinking, Harry? Let's get rid of these fucking fracking laws. Yeah. And let's start fracking the fuck out of everything. Yeah. Or whatever. Or actually, I don't like the way I'm being taxed. Let's see if we can get some. That's lobbying. And that's lobbying for the wrong fucking things.
So what you have, let's go local politics first, right? We have an election coming up here. See, no matter who you vote for, no matter what you do, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to fucking change, right? When I worked with Eamon came from Short Strand, which is a predominantly Catholic area, which is predominantly Sinn Féin area. And his parents taught him, never vote for Sinn Féin, always vote for the Independent, because the Independent cares about the community. You vote for Sinn Féin, you vote for the Sinn Féin agenda. For us, we have the Ulster Unionist DUP and our independents. You vote for Ulster Unionist DUP, you're getting their agenda. You vote for an independent, you're voting for somebody who cares about the community.
Yeah.
But it's pushed down your throat your whole life. Vote DUP, keep Sinn Féin out. Vote DUP, keep Sinn Féin out. Nothing's going to fucking change if people keep voting orange and green. That's just the way it is. Nothing's going to fucking change.
Look, I think it's spider web of all as fucking almost. I almost think it's evil, because they've all got special interests, and nobody that I see in Parliament is struggling. I don't see many. Now, people sometimes do come from the States, blah, blah, but they're going in the big parties, and then big parties have certain backers, because every single one of these public campaigns need to be fucking backed by somebody.
Did you see a thing throughout the other day about Peter Johnson? For a thing?
Hit piece. Hit piece.
Oh, that was 2012. He posted that.
That's a hit piece right there. Like,
Shocking.
he would have been just out of fucking upper sixth.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Like,
to me, that was
hit piece.
11 years ago.
In the world
11 years ago, he posted
then.
he posted something on Instagram and they're hitting with it. Catch a grip yourselves.
Honestly, I thought that was low. I did think that was low.
See, when I got sent to me, I thought, that's shocking. Like, that's 11 years ago. Like,
it was low. I didn't like it.
See, this is why, let's go global. That's why I love Trump. Trump's a businessman. He's not a politician. He's corrupted a whole different sort of way. If he doesn't want to pay tax, that's up to him. Not to fucking worry about that.
Yeah.
In his interview with Hillary Clinton, they talk about the people says about dodging tax. He says, yeah, I do. He says, so do her donors. Yep. He says, do you think if she gets in, she's going to change that law? He says, no, he isn't that. He says, I use the same laws that they use. And that's what they do. That's why they hate him, because they can't buy him. They've got no fucking dirt on him. They say about, he paid off Stormy Daniels, blah, 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 stripper he had an affair with. How many people did Hillary Clinton pay off the Bill Clinton group? The only person we heard about was Monica Lewinsky, because she blew the whistle on it. How many other people was there? When Trump had that thing with Hillary Clinton, he had them all sitting in the front line. He had them all. He had all the girls sitting there that Bill Clinton grouped. How many people did fucking Hillary pay off to keep their fucking mouth shut?
And what about Hunter Biden's laptop?
It's all coming out now, mate. I knew about this before that fucking all came out.
It's sinister.
I actually seen a video earlier on that they reckon they're going to press charges against them.
It's sinister. And it's like, I like to see the silver lining in life. I don't like to see people, like most people, as nasty or having bad intentions. But whenever you look at people who are in high positions of power, for us to affect our lives, we're connected to America. The UK and Ireland
Do you know what?
are connected directly to America.
I used to think for years, what the fuck happens in America? What the fuck do I care? See, over COVID, I realised it happens a hell of a lot.
Yes,
it
because
matters. It fucking matters.
Our governments are very closely connected in terms of global politics. But whenever you see things around, Epstein and Logs and Prince fucking, what do you call him, Prince Andrew, and then
King's brother,
and then the king, his old best mate, Mr. Jimmy Savile. That he used to hang around with a lot, go out with a lot, go drink with, etc., who was a evil.
They fucking knew what Jimmy Savile was.
He was an evil bastard. He went in the fucking hospitals and touched up fucking dying kids.
He's a scumbag.
What the if there is a hell, he's fucking burning it.
I hope so.
So that's the dark side of this coronation. It's him and that affiliation with Jimmy Savile. And I know we're just talking about Hunter Biden and stuff. The lighter side is it brought a lot of people together. I saw that today. That when you looked outside the palace, outside in the streets, people were having parties.
Went over to it. I know people who went over.
That's the bright side. And whether you're a royalist or a loyalist, or you're a union, or you're a nationalist, or you're a Republican, it's good to see the lighter side of that. The bringing community together, because as much as it's almost a gimmick these days, because they don't have a say in Parliament, whether they do or don't, we don't really know.
I imagine they have some sort of say. I think they finalise on the big deals.
I think in law they are still, so they're still the head of state.
Yeah.
But what happened? The monarchs who didn't give up power, what happened to them all? Got their heads cut off. Yeah. So they know that they need to be a celebrity status now to keep their family up here. Mm-hmm. Because see, once you start really spitting on a working man's face that you're going to pay for my palace, pay for this, pay for that, and I'm going to tell you what to do without democratic process, what'll happen? People will rise up and kill them. Not, maybe not kill them these days, but we'll rise up and boot them out and burn everywhere down that they owned or whatever.
Mm-hmm. You'd like to try.
Well, that's what they done with the Russian monarchy.
Yeah.
They went and beheaded them.
Yeah.
See, I think it was the French as well, or are the French still going? There was a couple. It might have been Holland's king and queen and stuff.
I thought
but there was just like a uprising where the monarchs started getting beheaded left, right, and centre, And when that happened, the British started going, wait a wee second.
Let's bring that back a wee bit there.
Here, we've got a government. They make the decisions.
Yeah.
But yeah, big momentous, part of history. This is documented as a part of history now. That on this day, this was our opinions and this is the things that was going on. And fucking who knows, in 5 years there might be a nuclear war and it all gets fucking wiped.
Fucking Joe Biden keeps going the way he's going, we're fucked.
That's mate. I don't know. I don't know what they expect. The world's in a bad place at the minute, isn't it?
Go on, yeah. That's good. The fuel fucking thing, right? First thing Joe Biden done when he came in the office, he shut down the fucking the Keystone pipeline that brought cheap fuel into America. First thing he done was he shut that down, and he said that the Nord Stream pipeline would fucking cease to exist, and they fucking blew it up. Trump warned them not to fucking rely on Russia for their fucking fuel, and they laughed at him. The Germans, they laughed at him. And I look at them. Do you know why they done it? Because fucking America's fucking freezing theirs and fucking shipping it over. Do you know what I mean? It's scandalous. Like, I could go down that rabbit hole all day. Fuck, it's started on that.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy when you think of world politics and the slimy, stinking things that go on behind closed doors. But me personally, I would love to see a more fair political playing field, because what I see in America and what I see in mainland United Kingdom, so England, in politics, the only people who end up going to the top echelon of politics are people who come from privileged fucking families.
Yeah.
And that fucking
not
infuriates
always, but
me.
Yeah, but the majority of
them.
Well,
most of the people in government went to fucking
the
Eton prep school.
Yeah, that's what
in mainland UK.
Yeah.
And then mainland USA.
Labour and Conservative all went to Eton. So
that's fucked.
They're all... They came from money straight away.
That's fucked.
So, I mean, they have no idea what it's like to go without a meal.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? To feed your kids, they have no idea. And they're saying, you can afford this, you can afford it. Did you get the text messages sent out to you all right?
Oh, the emergency one?
The emergency alert?
Yeah.
Who owned that company that sent that text message?
No idea.
Rishi Sujak's father-in-law.
Well, there you go.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
There you go. Same during COVID, Boris was throwing his mates behind closed doors, throwing them all the contract. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, which is something that we should, as a nation, get rid of in politics, is people having special interests. Whether they're buying stocks, because they do it in America, and they do it fucking here, where they buy stocks that they know, but they know what's going on behind closed doors. So that's insider trading, which, if you got caught doing, you go to fucking jail.
You go to jail.
But they don't go to jail for it, but they're fucking playing the game every day.
The RHI scandal here, the renewable energy thing.
Oh, you know what I mean?
DEP get fucking up their necks in it.
I hear, but who got put in jail for it?
Nobody.
But see, if that was you,
you'd be fucked.
You'd be fucked.
Oh yeah.
You'd be getting 2 years just for the fucking sake of it. So how do you think your experiences have influenced the atmosphere and services you provide in your barbershop? Your life experiences, like what makes that different in your barbershop? What makes your barbershop different from just a normal old man barbershop?
Life experiences. Open debates, good crack, good banter, challenges, like-minded people. Everybody who comes into my shop has there's a good vibe.
Yeah,
so the vibe's good in my shop, because if you're Gavin and Jordy, that they come from totally different backgrounds to me.
Yeah.
So I mean, they come from money, but their parents looked after. Their parents done right by them. So I mean, they're two good lads, and they come in and the crack's brilliant. Like, so I mean, plus they're a lot younger than me, so they lived a different life than what I lived.
Yeah.
They lived through different times. Like they're still shocked when people come in, older ones, and we're talking about the troubles and stuff, and they're going, fucking, this is crazy. Like they run about Belfast city centre, and that was every day. Well, I run the bait. When I was younger, you didn't go near it. Like, now, fair enough, I was like 13, 14 when it stopped. Do you know what I mean? But I remember getting the bus into the town, and the bus getting checked for bombs and stuff, and bombs going off in the town, and murder on the TV every night now, and then boys they're in awe. They're like, fuck, my God, this is mad. And
I know.
We're going like, that it was normal then. It was just, that's the way it was. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the same thing, somebody says to me, so I seen someone on Facebook, all right, what's something that's still said now that was said in the 80s and said in the 90s. No, it was just a general thing. There's ones there that people ask you what's different, and ones that was the same. And I noticed that some people from Northern Ireland had wrote underneath it, "You didn't get that for nothing." Do you know what I mean? About parliamentary meetings and stuff, 80s, 90s, noughties, now. Somebody gets the leg cracked, I didn't get that for nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's still the same.
That is true. People still do say that.
Didn't get that for nothing.
Fuck. So just to finish the pod off, one last question. What advice would you give the young men and women who are maybe down and out, come from a family who don't have much in terms of role models, don't have much in terms of ideas, but want to make a better life for themselves?
Right. So, why this is all popped in my head straight away, I don't know. So what I would say is listen to motivational speeches, right? Read books that are entrepreneur driven, self-help books, not fucking books that are going to make you better, right? And if you can't read, listen to the audio. Listen to the audio book. If you have a hobby, turn it into a business. That was you like videos, you like making video content, and you turn it into a business. Do you mean I like people, and I now work with people day in, day out. So whatever it is, if you like going to, if you love, somebody says to me about going to the gym and stuff. See if I knew what a PT was when I was 20, I'd have been one. I loved going to the gym, loved working out. So I absolutely love it. If that's your passion, be a PT. Do you know what I mean? If you're footballers, look at young footballers, inspired to be Premier League players. If you have a hobby, if it's painting, be an artist. So it doesn't matter what it is. If you have an interest in something, chase it and chase it and chase it, and you'll earn a living out of it. Do you get me? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Because, as it say, if you enjoy what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So I mean, if you love making videos, it's not work. So you're not grafting. I love people. I love cutting hair. I love being around people all day. So I don't really feel like I'm working. If you're people who love cars, car mechanics, a lot of people I know, car mechanics, or they make their money from Homers, but they love it. Do you know what I mean? You see boys covered oil all day, every day, and they fucking love it because that's their passion. Cars is their passion. I know a guy loves cars that much. He actually went and got a job detailing cars. So he did, and he's making good do at it.
Yeah.
He just loves cleaning. He just loves cars. I know a guy took a job in a what do you call it, tire fitting place just because he loves cars. He loves being around cars all day. So he gave up a job in a factory or a warehouse. I can't remember where it was he worked, but he took a pay cut to go and work in the tire fitting place just because he loves being around cars all day. Fuck yeah. Fucking right. Loves it.
I would just add on to the end of that no matter how it feels when you're not winning and no one's watching your stuff and no one's interested in your business or no one's interested in your ideas, no matter what that feels like, just keep going, because sooner or later you'll be 5 feet from gold.
Yeah.
And then 3 feet from gold. I always get that wrong. You'll be 3 feet from gold, and you'll make it.
If people will never, they never see the bottom. They only see what happens at the top. And then they wish you all the best until you're doing really well, and then they try and bring you down.
You ever seen the movie Layer Cake?
Love it.
Gotta take a lot of shit before you get to the top.
Is it? And then you start giving shit.
100%.
Love it. Love that movie.
We'll end the pod there, Harry.
That'll do.
Thank you very much.
No worries, man.
Appreciate it. The next time.
Thank you very much.